Hello, and welcome to a PJO theory. Today's theory will be on how Percy and Annabeth survived the House of Night in the book The House of Hades. There will be minor spoilers from the Heroes of Olympus series, so you are warned. This scene was always fun to come back and read, but there was never a clear explanation on how Percy and Annabeth were able to make it out alive. Two things that stuck out to me are when they jumped off a 300-foot cliff and landed without breaking their legs, and when they jumped over the river Acreon and its 20-foot long river. To put those into perspective, this building is around 300 feet. Imagine jumping off and not breaking your legs. Yeah, not happening. And the world record for the longest jump is around 30 feet, so it is technically possible to make the jump, but with Percy holding Annabeth and both of them being physically and mentally weak from wandering throughout Tartarus for a long time, it's amazing they were able to get over 5 feet, let alone 20. I really think this is interesting to discuss, so I had come up with two theories on how Percy and Annabeth had survived the House of Night. The Death Mist was a special magic that Percy and Annabeth had received in Tartarus in order to mask their scent from the monsters and sneak their way to the doors of death. The reason I believe the Death Mist saved them is because Percy describes the feeling from the Death Mist as if he was wrapped in a coat of helium. So perhaps the helium effect it gives made it possible for them to survive a large fall, or be able to jump over a large distance. So the helium could have given them a higher jump. Percy also mentions that his legs would dissolve into smoke with every step he took. Interesting how he put an emphasis on his legs, a body part that didn't break when they fell. Perhaps the fact that they are made of smoke made them survive the fall, or it could have been both the helium effect and the smoke. Though the next theory is also quite interesting and plausible in its own right. This theory doesn't explain how they were able to survive the fall, but them being able to jump over the river could be explained by this. Anyone who has read Percy Jackson will know that he is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful demigod in the series. In the first book, The Lightning Thief, Percy was able to jump onto the Minotaur's head from the ground. Minotaur's heights are said to average around 6 to 8 feet tall, so let's have some fun and say that the Minotaur was 8 feet tall. Percy was getting a power boost from the rain, but the fact that he shattered the world record for the highest jump, that being just under 4 feet by the way, is incredible. So we already established that Percy can jump high when water touches him. Then how did he jump across the river when he wasn't in water? And the lake he jumped over can barely be considered a lake because it's like a river Styx, but with suffering people within it. Some evidence for it being Percy is that Annabeth gives credit to Percy for getting them both across the lake, with her saying things like, "I don't know how he managed to jump over it." So it could very well have been Percy who did it. Also, we know earlier that Percy can control poison, because since there is water in it, then technically he can control it. And we see him in the story controlling rivers like the Plegathon, which is entirely made out of lava, and the river Styx, which is made up of who knows what. So he could have used the power of the river Acreon to boost himself and Annabeth across. The fact that Percy was able to sense the river with his eyes closed proves that he has some sort of power over it. With the amount of abilities Percy already has within the series, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this was the reason for their jump across the river Acreon to be successful. Well, that's it. Those are my theories on how Percy and Annabeth survived the House of Night. Maybe they survived because of both theories. The Death Mist could have softened their fall, then Percy used his powers to jump across the river. Who knows? At the end of the day, it's up to us to find the answers that we so seek to discover. So maybe you have a different theory altogether. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you would like to see more of this content, or you can request any theory you would like for me to cover. Thanks for watching.